On this edition of Lexington Now, the Crown Act, celebrating Kenny McPeek and Stormwater Grants. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of July 8th, 2024. Mayor Gorton joined several council members to celebrate National Crown Day. The Crown Act was passed in 2023 to protect against hairstyle-based discrimination in the workplace.
So today we're celebrating National Crown Day. Crown stands for creating a respectful and open world for natural hair. In May 2023, Lexington joined a number of states and cities across the country that have enacted the Crown Act. The Crown Act ensures protection against discrimination in workplaces based on hair texture and styles that protect African American hair. Passage of the Crown Act in Lexington continues to send an important message about Lexington's dedication to being an inclusive city, where all residents can thrive without fear of bias or prejudice. It's a signal that we know diversity enriches our culture. Now, before we hear from the women who have joined me today, I want to present them with a proclamation, and I'm going to read the proclamation, and then I have one for each of you afterward. Okay? All right. Here's how it goes. National Crown Day. Whereas the Crown Act, which stands for creating a respectful and open world for natural hair, was signed into law in Lexington on May 11th, 2023, and whereas the Crown Act ensures protection against discrimination in workplaces based on hair texture and styles that protect African American hair, including braids, locks, twists, bantu knots, and protective styles. And whereas Councilmember Shayla Lynch, Councilmember Denise Gray, Councilmember Tana Fogel, and City Equity and Implementation Officer Tiffany Brown advocated for the passage of the Crown Ordinance, and whereas the Crown Act promotes acceptance and fosters a supportive movement that embraces and uplifts all. And whereas Lexington is dedicated to being an inclusive city where all residents can thrive without fear of bias or prejudice. Now, therefore, I, Linda Gorton, Mayor of Lexington, do hereby declare July 3rd, 2024, National Crown Day in Lexington.
I myself have worn wigs, weaves, braids, cornrows, relaxed hair, headscarves, and an afro. My hair has been purple, red, black, auburn, blonde, brown. My hair is my favorite accessory, and no matter how it is styled, I am still authentically Shayla, and my hair does not dictate or change all of the many blessings that I bring to the table. Passing this ordinance was important to me because I faced hair discrimination at a pivotal point in my life and career, and I was told that I was unemployable because I wore an afro. I felt shame and embarrassment for the first time in my life because of my hair. I don't want anyone to experience what I experienced that day. I want all of Lexington to have their hair freedom and not feel that they have to lessen themselves in order to go to work each day. In Lexington, you are protected. Yes. We see you, we love you, so we want you to live free.
Last year, my colleagues and I passed the historic ordinance to ensure that race-based hair discrimination was no longer allowed in the city of Lexington. Although race-based hair discrimination has been prevalent, I faced it. My colleagues, Council members Lynch and Fogel, have faced it. Many residents of Lexington have silently dealt with race-based discrimination, and sadly, the next generation of leaders in Lexington have dealt with it as well. However, it was not until we had a diverse city council that this law was passed. Diverse representation matters. The acts of this council are proof positive of this fact, that diverse representation matters.
You may see me come in with whatever color, whatever season it is. Of course, it's red, white, and blue, because tomorrow we celebrate the 4th of July. And so she is the one that keeps my hair looking fabulous on council. I didn't know how people were going to take it, and really, you know, I walked in with the Crown Act t-shirt on, rocking the Crown Act. When the mayor talked about young people, we had the young prodigies out of Louisville, Kentucky that came and swung their locks and performed at council. I was so proud of them. So this is an honorary moment.
I may not have personally experienced race-based hair discrimination, but I remember interviewing for this job and had recently gone through chemo. I had lost all of my hair, but I didn't want to show up in public without hair. So my choice was to wear a wig or wear a weave. And there are days I come into this office and they're like, well, we don't know what your hair is going to look like today. But I am glad that I have community where I work, where I'm free to express myself through my hair, whether that's protective styles using weaves or wigs or braids or locks or whatever I choose to do, or wear my natural hair, whatever I choose to do. I know that I'm welcome when I come into this building.
Mayor Gorton made a proclamation in honor of trainer Kenny McPeek on his many accomplishments on the horse track. Here's more.
We're joined by a very accomplished guest this morning, the winning trainer of the 2024 Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby, Kenny McPeek. Kenny recently accomplished something that very few have. Kenny trained Torpedo Anna, who crossed the finish line first in the 2024 Kentucky Oaks, and the very next day, he guided Mystic Dan to victory in the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. Kenny is the first trainer to win both the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby in the same year since 1952. So with the win in the Derby, Kenny has trained winning horses in all 3 Triple Crown races. In 2002, he won the Belmont Stakes with Sarava. In 2020, the Preakness Stakes with Swiss Skydiver. And in May of 2024, of course, Kentucky Derby winner Mystic Dan. After watching a TV show that foretold the importance of smartphone apps, Kenny realized he couldn't find any about horse racing. He created Horse Races Now, which allows users to watch live racing and race replays on their mobile devices. Kenny, your success and determination are a great example of what's possible right here in the horse capital of the world. Whereas Kenny McPeek's career exemplifies the best of thoroughbred racing and the best of Kentucky, and whereas in 2024, he trained the winning horses of both the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks, becoming the first trainer to win both the Oaks and the Derby in the same year since 1952. And whereas with the Derby win, Kenny has trained winners of all 3 Triple Crown races. In 2002, winning the Belmont Stakes with Sarava. In 2020, the Preakness Stakes with Swiss Skydiver. And in May 2024, the Kentucky Derby with Mystic Dan. And whereas Kenny was raised in Lexington, is a graduate of Tates Creek High School and the University of Kentucky, and whereas Kenny has made significant contributions to the horse racing industry, traveling around the world and bringing home what he learned to Kentucky, and whereas he developed the Horse Races Now app, which allows users to watch live racing and replays on their mobile devices. And whereas Kenny owns and operates Magdalena Farm in Lexington, and whereas we congratulate Kenny McPeek on his many great accomplishments. Now, therefore, I, Linda Gorton, Mayor of Lexington, do hereby declare July the 2nd, 2024, Kenny McPeek Day in Lexington. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm honored. I was baptized less than a mile from here. My mother was one of the most amazing people in the world. I wish she was here. She was in the heart of Lexington her entire life. I think the only thing that my mother did wrong is she gave birth to me in Arkansas. which is an interesting backstory, because when I trained my first derby horse, one of the reporters decided that I was an Arkansas native. And I said, wait, time out. No, Lexington. And he said, oh yeah, but you were born in Arkansas. And I said, my mother went to see my father, who was in the 101st Airborne for basic training, and she said the roads were so bad when they went into Arkansas that her water broke when she got there. So I was subsequently born in Arkansas, but I have been adamant that anybody that ever asked, I'm a Lexingtonian, and I'm so proud to have grown up here. And you know, I can actually drive. I could drive Lexington blindfolded since I was a boy. And anyway, thank you for everything. I'm just, it's emotional.
Thank you, Kenny.
When we come back, we'll tell you how to take advantage of the city's Stormwater Grants program.
Hello everyone, I'm Tiffany Brown, Equity and Implementation Officer in the Mayor's Office and Chair of the A Sense of Place Committee. I'm here today to talk about A Sense of Place, an initiative dedicated to preserving the history of Lexington's rural Black hamlets and celebrating those that remain active today. More than 20 historic Black hamlets have been identified in Fayette County. Most are located in rural areas. Our historic hamlets have been and are home to generations of lived experiences, traditions, and culture. Houses, churches, schools, grocery stores, agricultural enterprises, and lodge halls for community gatherings were found in many hamlets. A Sense of Place is a partnership between community members with direct connection to our hamlets and the city of Lexington. Its goal is to raise awareness about what the hamlets represent and to identify steps that are needed to take to preserve their history. The A Sense of Place committee includes local historian Yvonne Giles, local historian Calvin Graves, Executive Director of the Lexington History Museum Mandy Higgins, Cadentown resident Dr. Alvin Seals, Cadentown Baptist Church pastor Reverend Leon Slatter, and others. With support from members of the Cadentown community, A Sense of Place is currently raising funds for maintenance updates and programming of the Cadentown Rosenwald School and property located at 705 Caden Lane. In the early 2000s, members of the Cadentown community worked with the city to preserve the school. In the early 20th century, Rosenwald schools were found across the South, serving rural Black children and families during segregation. Many of the buildings have been destroyed. Lexington is proud that the Cadentown School still stands and wants to preserve the history and significance that so many of these schools have had in our hamlet communities. The funds will complete the restoration of the school and upgrade the historic cemetery and church building. The school will permanently house artifacts that tell the story of Lexington's hamlet. We hope you will join us.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. Did you know that Lexington has a Stormwater Grants program? Bailey Young joins us to talk about the program and how to take advantage of its benefits.
Stormwater management is important because as the city continues to develop, more impervious area is added, and so we want to reduce the impervious area, reduce quantity, and enhance quality. Impervious area is any pavement or hard surface that can't infiltrate stormwater. So Lexington has an incentive grant program for infrastructure projects, and so that will be Parcel B projects that include schools, businesses, commercial industry institutions, anything that's non-ag. And so we partner with residents who want to invest into stormwater projects on their property. So we contribute up to $360,000 for the projects, and we ask that residents match at 20%. So right now we're accepting Class B infrastructure project grant submittals, and those are due Friday, July 26th by 4 p.m. So the grants have funded a wide variety of projects over the years, including permeable pavers, stormwater conveyance, stream restoration, rainwater harvesting. So there's really a lot of options. So infrastructure projects are scored based on the reduction of impervious area, as well as the area being treated by the BMP, which could include increasing tree canopy. And we're looking for water quality enhancements, especially if E. coli is targeted. And we normally include an educational component of the project where there's signage put in to describe to others what water quality feature is being shown. We have a little bit over $1.2 million to invest in stormwater infrastructure grants this year for fiscal year 25. We have different categories for our submittals, and so we have projects under 75 grand are all scored together, and feasibility projects, which we give up to 55 grand, are scored together as well. So don't be intimidated if you have a smaller scale project, we're still looking for those too. A feasibility project is where you're doing investigation of the project you would like to do. So you're normally collaborating with engineers and landscape architects and trying to determine what the best solution for your problem would be. So on the city's website, we have the application documents, we have examples and drafts, so you can see exactly what you're looking for, and you can look back at old ones that we've accepted.
Safety City is a fully functional Lexington cityscape in miniature designed with the purpose of teaching children traffic safety. Officer Jerome Bean tells us how this educational tool works.
So there was a lot of kids that were nationwide that were being injured during walking down the streets, riding bicycles, or traveling on school buses. These could have been prevented if the kids had just been educated on situations and how to prepare themselves better when they were doing these activities. So the Bluegrass Junior Women's Club proposed a program to Mayor Scotty Basler at the time, 1987, to combat this problem and to educate the children in safety through positive means of explanations, demonstration, and practice. The Safety City project was born and opened in May of 1990. The goals are the opportunity to intervene in the lives of young students and instill lessons that keep them safer throughout their adulthood as well. And through educating students on the importance of pedestrian, traffic, bicycle, fire and gun, and personal safety. And it should travel with them throughout their adult life as well. And they should learn messages and prepare them for issues that they will face on a daily as they grow. So I teach the PowerPoint. It's about 45 minutes, and I really like it because I can interact with the kids. I get them going. They can yell the answers back at me.
Let's see if you guys know what this means. No. That means to go. Stop.
So we have a lot of fun with it, and then we get to play bingo. And so we also have a Eddie Eagle video that we play for the kids as well. And Eddie Eagle is basically a cartoon that they watch, and him and his friends come across a gun in a park, and then they sing a little song, and the kids get it. It's a little jingle. I'm not going to sing the song for you, but it's a little jingle, and the kids like it, and basically they learn how to don't touch the gun, go tell an adult, stay away from it. Then at the very end, we get to do a little dance with the officers. So we get up there and we do a dance, and we teach them from their left and their right. And then we get them prepared to go out and drive the cars. They'll go outside. We have 10 little Toyota cars that we have, and we'll line them up, and then the kids will get out there. We'll explain to them that they got to properly put their seatbelts on. We'll have them look inside the car, so they'll look inside the car, then they'll get in, they'll properly put their seatbelts on. We all check for safety, and then we turn the cars on, and then we tell them how to stay on the right side of the road, to stop at stop signs, to stop at stoplights, and to yield to pedestrians that are also out there. Their classmates that are practicing the pedestrian part of it. Pedestrians learn how to cross in a crosswalk. They learn how to use the pedestrian box at a traffic light. And then we have bicycle safety as well, and the kids will go out. They'll learn how to get a bicycle that properly fits their body style, their height, and then they'll learn how to properly wear their bicycle helmet, and then they'll learn how to properly maneuver their bicycle along the road, on the right side of the road and everything, like they would if they were riding in their neighborhood with their friends or family. So right now we primarily are serving 2nd and 3rd graders, and these students are throughout Fayette County and surrounding counties. Go online to the Lexington Police Department webpage and go to Safety City, and then the request form is there. Fill it out, hit the submit button, and it'll come to me, and we'll get you started. So I think that the impact that Safety City has is that we get to make a positive impact on the young kids. A lot of people, when they come across the police, we're coming to them when their whole life is like kind of in a crisis. So they're looking for us to kind of put together their life that's kind of falling apart. Well, with these kids, we get to have fun with them, and we get to do things that are fun, and we kind of make a good positive impact on them, so that they understand that the police are here to help you, and we're here to teach you and so that you learn from us. So that's kind of how I feel about it.
Several live meetings are on the schedule this week on Lex TV and streaming online. And remember, you can also find the most accurate and up-to-date information on non-televised city business at lexingtonky.gov. Here's this week's meeting schedule. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on X at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.